Hello, everyone, and welcome. So are you ready to talk about computers, data, systems, and habits that can help build the ultimate in customer experience for our clients? I'm pumped. Today we have Alvaro Arize, CEO of Sync, here to share with us how technology can help agents and brokers stay top of mind with their clients. Feel free, as always, to put your questions in the chat as usual. Alvaro, how are you? Thank you so much for joining us.
Hello, Amy. It is a true pleasure to be here. Thank you for the opportunity.
Let's talk about just kind of a general perspective. You have a really interesting viewpoint or vantage point of the needs of consumers. How do you think the expectation of both buyers and sellers are different today than, say, even like 12 months ago?
So I think, Amy, as this last crazy year has gone by, it has actually enhanced a trend that was already there. So if you think about, on one hand, I think the obvious answer is almost no one today looks for a house without starting the search online. Now, that doesn't mean that they're going to choose their agent through that method, but it does mean that that's the beginning of their journey, and that if you want to be with them in that journey, you need to be there from the start. But I think the other change that is a little underlying there, and then some people might not see immediately, is before, in the beginnings of online engagement in the real estate industry, people were used to a subpar experience, which was mainly a more transactional experience of like, oh, I go and I get the information that I need, I provide the information that I'm asked, but in no way I am establishing any true relationship with the. If you think of brands, like in retail brands, they do a lot of effort to establish a relationship with you well before you walk into the door, right? But if you think of the big portals in real estate, they were not doing that. And so what's happening now is more and more it has become important for agents, because this is such a local business and such a people-driven business. It is important for them to be able to do that upfront in that online experience.
Yeah, those of us who have been in the industry a long time, like we've always said that we're in the relationship business, and more particularly when you look at buyer clients today, it's really difficult to communicate, to manage the narrative, the emotions. It's kind of been challenging for our buyer clients. So let's go from buyer clients to talking about prospective buyers or buyer leads. What do those folks need to know? What do you think is the most effective way to build that relationship, go from transactional to, maybe even more transformational, and have that relationship with our prospective buyers today? What do they need to know?
So if you think about that, right? And so you start your relationship with that person, you capture the lead in some way. And the first thing that traditionally both the systems and the people behind the systems were resorting to was very transactional. How many bedrooms do you need? How many bathrooms? When are you buying? That's question number one. And if you say more than 3 months, I don't want to talk to you anymore, right? So very, very transactional. What do you need? Can I help you? Are you ready to transact? That was, and then we were surprised that people were not wanting to talk to you, when the truth is they can get all of that without talking to you. So why would they talk to you for something they already have? But the truth is, the most important question is not the what, but the why. And if both your systems, first you need to train your people. Systems cannot help you if your people are being transactional. So our training team at Sync has, for a very, very long time, we do live trainings every month. We bring in 100 agents in. They do power hours of calling live next to their competitors, their other or colleagues. And the first is that experience of that same, you think you're a relationship person, you are personal, you establish trust in person, but when you're on the phone, you behave like a robot. And that's not right. And so how do you have the courage to ask, hey, why are you moving? Instead of what are you looking for? And so first you need to train your people in that sense. And then you have to have systems that do that also. So a normal CRM usually is it's like an alarm clock, right? You tell them this lead is type A. And so I need to be reaching out to them 3 times a week. And so if I don't, you need to tell me, reach out to them. It's using information you gave them. What systems like Sync and other platforms how they are doing is you need to gather all of the information of that person when they are coming and engaging with you. What are they looking for? You already know they're looking for 4 rooms. You don't need to ask that question. You already know they prefer to talk at 2 a.m. or they prefer to talk at 2 p.m. You already know if they prefer text or if they prefer email. But your system needs to be built that you can use that information to engage with them in the way they want and create that relationship that you're looking for.
That personal connection, that personal relationship that feels a little bit more specialized to them.
Exactly. That is the key to the game today.
Awesome. Okay, so talk about buyers. Let's talk about sellers. Often joke that, right, the person who owns the listings owns the market. So, what is the best way to connect with or even generate motivated seller leads today?
So my answer is not going to be too different. I think from a technical point of view, yes, you want a system that has a complete seller suite that provides both a way to capture those leads. Obviously, people that are looking to evaluate their home or looking to have market reports in a certain area are high chance of being able to do that. You want a system that has the right tools to follow up with them and give them emails with real content that they want to open, and you want a system that has, for me, a very important thing is to have a native app of your own, where where people claim their house, like they say this is my house, and you can do it in any of the big portals, but if they're doing it in one of the big portals, they're not working with you, right? So you want a system that has a native app on the phone of your client where that happens, right? And so where you can keep that relationship going, and you can update them on the value of their house, and you can do all of that, and you all know all of that. Because if not, you're just giving all of that information to someone else. And then specifically to find them. So besides the tools, I think the important factor here is today more than ever. So we all believe that sellers drive the market today, and it is true. The demand is so much higher than the supply right now that listers hold a lot of the keys, right?
Yeah.
But again, one of the bigger things is listers many times are hidden as buyers. They're not looking as a seller because they know they can sell. So they're looking to buy before they can sell. Because today, most of the people are thinking, people that were not thinking of selling are saying, my house is worth this, so I could be making money. But that's only true if I'm finding, right? And so you also need a good method to really. I'll go back to the same thing I told you before. If you're transactional, they're looking for a house, and yeah, you may ask whether they're selling. They're going to lie to you because they don't trust you, and you're just going to go through the motions of a buyer. If you forget whether they're a buyer or a seller, and you establish trust first, and you get to the motives, once you get to the motives, it's very clear. And so and then when you ask the question, well, do you own your house, then it's like, oh yeah, because you have a different level. We had crazy story. We had one of our leads engaging with our artificial intelligence the other day say, our artificial intelligence, because it asks those questions, which is much more difficult than normal chatbots out there, said, so why are you looking at moving in this time, or what are you looking? And the person responded, well, my wife just cheated on me with her cousin, and so I need to get out of here now. And so, but
That's
that
a
is just
hot
all
lead.
that is a hot lead. And so on one hand, that's a curveball for a system that's trying to generate answers out of every possible response that a human being can give. But how valuable it is. If you had asked that person how many bedrooms they were looking for, you would
Right.
have got an answer of 4. And you would have zero relationship with that person. While this person that just shared that with you, that's a client. If you know how to work, that's a client. And when you ask, and do you and your wife uh, own the house that you have today? The answer is yes, which I don't think at this level, after telling you that, they're not lying to you. Then you have. So short version of the answer is you have to use the traditional methods, but you have to establish true relationships and trust with buyers, and that will read you more seller leads than any other method too. So you have to be combining both.
That is really creative perspective. Don't even look at them as whether they're buyer or seller, because you can generate more seller leads. They're hiding behind the buyer prospect, or potential. I think that's really, really clever. And I love the idea that there's this service plus support. You've got the relational supported by the technology. So how does sync AI and systems help agents streamline the engagement so that they're always top of mind? You've talked about a couple of really great examples of asking the right questions and kind of pulling the right information, and it allows agents to kind of scale themselves and be more giving of their time. But tell us about the benefits of the sync system.
Yeah, and honestly, I think this response is bigger than sync. I think the at the basis of that, what you need is a system that allows you to be more human more time. So if
Yeah.
you're looking for a system that is going to replace you, or that is going to give an automated response to the things that you do, probably sync is not the right fit. And I might say I don't think that you're looking for the right thing, but I understand that. And so there's a lot of systems that just give, you tell them A, and so they're an alarm clock. What the reason that, for example, we took so much time and we went so deep into our AI is because I didn't want it to contradict everything that we're building. So we've been talking to you through, we have a very high touch model, right? We do, again, live trainings, we bring you in, we force you to interact, we keep you out of your comfort level, we force you to do things that are very, very uncomfortable because we know that's the way we need to get that natural magnetism that you as an agent have in person to translate to the system, to your online activity. And so our Sync AI was built with the same philosophy. We needed, and it took much more work. The logic tree of an AI that asks why questions is 10 times bigger than one that asks what questions. And so all that we do has that sense in mind. And my recommendation to you as an agent is whatever system you use, you need to look for a system that is going to multiply your human relationship building ability rather than try to replace it with an automated system.
Fabulous. Ask why, not what. Thank you so much, Alvaro. And we will see all the rest of you later.
Thank you very much. Pleasure talking to you all.